everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So yesterday, I finished up a bunch of stuff over here. Now I'm going to go over here, but before I go over here, got a couple things I want to adjust over here. And I just like making your head wiggle. I decided that I made the outer strand here just a little bit too round. I think it'll look better if I just push it in just a tiny bit. And with that, also push this in just a tiny bit. I have to make sure it is properly hidden behind the strand. Properly hidden underneath the rug. Where it belongs. Over here too. Over here has to be thoroughly under the rug. Okay. Nope, still a little bit hanging out over here. There we go. And here. Gotta get everything under that rug. Or I never have to look at it. Alright. So let me check that again now. Not quite. Not quite. Oh, I didn't actually need the brush for that. I thought that it was going to be more than one vertex, but turns out it was just the one. Kind of funny how that works out. Vertices in that area are always a little bit funky. Something I will have to figure out a little bit more for any future rigging projects. I feel like meshing is a rabbit hole that I could go down learning stuff about for a while, which I think is funny considering how many people generally just use an auto mesh or want to use an auto mesh. So I don't generally bother wrangling with the auto mesh. Alright. Now then, there's also a tiny little shadow, like right at the side here, that I think also needs some minor adjustment. Just a little. Still kind of feel like it's expanding a little bit. Like, I don't quite know how to describe the feeling. But if you look around here, I don't know, when I move her head down, it looks like there's something underneath kind of pushing it out. And I don't like it. So, I'm gonna do a little bit of flailing to kind of figure out what's going on there, and if there's something that I can do in order to make me like it more. Might consult the mesh. Let's see. Exactly how do I do it up here? Actually looks kind of messy up there too. How's it in the original? We have just this little spot right there. Okay. So I think the first step is actually going to be to straighten it out here, because I think it's a little bunched up and wavy. The color is just really similar, but for whatever reason I just see it very strongly when I move down to the lower right. For some reason, indeed. Brains are wild like that. I have learned to stop questioning these things. Sometimes things just are. Okay. Close. I think what's making it look like it's expanding is over here. So if I can kind of push some of this in just a little bit more. And it should be fine, in theory. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, I am satisfied. All is well. Now, back to over here. One thing that I was noticing also is that I felt like the hair at the very bottom here was a little bit too low. So I wanted to push that up just a little bit here. Get a nicer little curve right through here. Hope that doesn't mess anything up with the bottom strand there. So far, so good. I think it looks okay. So that this way... Yeah, a little bit of a gentler slope there. Let me take a look at it like this. Yep, seems okay to me. So hopefully over here I can push it up a little bit, because I don't know. Something about it just felt kind of low. And it was a little bit weird, so... wanted to fix that a little bit, but I think that already just made it a little bit better. So now I can get a nice little curve going around here. And all should be well, in theory. Okay, and then I can kind of go back to cleaning everything up over here. Let me make sure that I'm still satisfied with how everything's moving in that direction. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. Let me check the diagonal. Yeah, I think I can be happy with that. So, now I can go back over here. I think I'm actually going to start on the just regular old left turn here. Because what I did a while back was I made it so that this strand and this little part kind of up at the top there would go a little bit further behind her head. And hopefully make things a little bit nicer. Once again, in theory. But I do like the look so far. I just kind of need to get certain aspects of the shape a little bit nicer. And I do think that I want to start from up here rather than starting from the lower left. I just have to remember what all these layers are. When I haven't worked on a particular side for a while, sometimes I forget what I called everything. So still gonna do some big motions for a little bit to figure out exactly kind of how everything should sit. So right now I've just kind of done some super basics to see if I liked the idea at all, if it was even worth pursuing, and determined yes, I liked it. So now I gotta go to the next layer and just make it a little bit more detailed. One thing I really gotta figure out is, like, this bit of hair really poofs out. It's super poofy. So I gotta figure out how poofy I want it to be over here. Right now, not very poofy at all. So I have to decide what kind of poof it's gonna be too. Like, there's two ways to make something poofy here. I can either, like, bring the one point out a little bit more, like this, and that makes it poofy. Or I can bring the other points in. So I could, like, take this lower spot and push it downward a little bit more. And that would make the top also look poofier. And do something like that. I think for this I like the first option. But I want to check. Ooh, that actually does have a degree, some merit too. I think this is too much, but idea is interesting. I want to take a look at this. And here I thought that I'd just be like, yep, don't think that's going to be quite right. But no, I think there might be something here. So I should check it out. For the time being, I'm not really worried about making things neat. I'm just testing things out, testing the waters, and see how I feel about everything. Trying things. Always the first step. Okay, and if we're gonna go hard on experimenting with 3D effects, I gotta do something about some of this stuff here. Because... let me see. Gotta explain this to myself, too. So, the way the strand sits on the hair is there's this bit here that comes out from the roots. It goes up, and then it turns, and this bit, and then kind of goes over here. So this bit is like from the same bit of hair as over here. It's just folding on itself. So that would mean that we have kind of another tunnel situation like down here, where since this is all part of the same bit of hair, that we should, in theory, on this direction, see a little bit more of this underneath spot. In theory. I think I vaguely remember trying this before, but I couldn't get it to work. So let's try again. I am smarter than I was however long ago I was first doing this, so maybe I can do it now. Gotta push those limits. And you know what? Maybe I can even do something nice with that over here too. Who knows? One thing at a time. I'm gonna try to see what I can do over here without making it look squirmy and gross and ugly. That means we're gonna get a little bit of bald spots until I fix it. That's okay. That'll be fixed eventually. Right now, I just kind of want to see if I can pull off the impression that is in my head. So far, it's not working out so well, but I think I just need to poke at it a little bit more here. Really try to think about how it'll look at this angle. P.S. Rigging is great. I know it probably looks like I'm flailing and complaining about things a lot, but no, I am very much loving every second of this. It is fantastic. I was considering doing another just drawing stream once I finished this, and just derping around there, maybe doing an animated illustration or two. But if I'm being honest, part of me might just jump into another model. Because I think some of that was me feeling a little bit self-conscious with how long I take to do these things. And I no longer care. It's always great when you can free your heart from those kinds of concerns. So I am just having a much better time now that I'm not worried about it. Okay, I'm gonna hide a bit of hair here. This is less for this particular angle and more for how it moves between my two keyframes. But I want to kind of get the same floofy folded effect that I have here. And fold the hair through here too. Make it look like it's going to be turning and wrapping around the side of her head there. Okay. Let's turn this back on and see if that's any better. I really hope I can plug up that bald spot later. But I think the effect is starting to come together. Still needs a lot of work. But I'm starting to see it. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, yeah, I think I can work with this. So I think I'll be able to do what I want. I just need some time to figure it out. And because this bald spot is bothering me a lot, I'm gonna go try to kind of fill it in a little. It's making it a little bit hard to see. Just because it's... it looks so weird. So I'm gonna fill some stuff in here. Might also be able to do a little bit with the hair through here. Kind of stretch it out at the top here. Fill in some more holes. Okay. So I've got the holes filled in. I'm not quite sure what to do with this line. I'm actually gonna check something real quick. Let's see if I can find her here, because unfortunately the place where I tend to get my art references is a bit weird right now. Okay. That's alright, I found it. I was actually able to do that pretty quickly this time. I just want to see her original art and what that bit of hair looks like on the original here. Okay, I think I have some idea of what it might do. Gonna have to think about it for a second. So the idea is that it comes out of the root here and then folds over. So what exactly does that mean here? What exactly does that mean for right here? Probably means that it doesn't have to change too much. I think I might want to angle this just a little bit higher like this. Maybe I'm not actually entirely sure. That might be a time for musing while I go for a walk or something. Because, yeah, that's not working. Okay. I'll leave it like it is for now. I think it's okay. And I will have to think about how I want this to change. Yeah, I think I'll just have to think about if I need to change this angle of kind of this black line going through here. Man, I'm looking at the original art here compared to the areas that I had to redraw, and unfortunately the upscaling that I needed to use in order to get this reasonable size to rig kind of killed the quality in certain areas, as the original artist's style is just so much more delicate than how I tend to do things. Man, it's really nice. I like the way this artist draws hair. It means I have to take 50 million years to rig it, but it's very pretty, so I think it's worth it. Like, 50 million years isn't even enough to show up on the geographic timeline of humanity. It's fine. Totally fine to take 50 million years to create a universe. It's gonna be a pretty sweet universe. Okay. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. Right now I'm just going to worry about how it is draping over the side of that area. I think if anything, this is semi-related only, but I think I can actually get away with taking these two strands here, moving them just very, very slightly to the right here. Nothing too drastic. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Got a little bit of a turn going there. Okay. So now I'm trying to think of what is stopping this strand from looking like it is the same strand, and I think part of it is just on the original, it looks very drapey. Like, it's just very casually going over the side of her head there. Whereas I feel like some of that is lost here. I think there's like this lighter pink part here. I think I want to shove that onto the rest of her hair. And I actually do think that I want something right here just poofing out just a little bit more. Alright, I actually think this looks okay. I still feel like I can do a little bit more with up there. But it's really hard. I feel like there's just shenanigan upon shenanigan, and my headphone cord is poking me for some reason. Okay. I just kept feeling something tickle my arm, and there's my headphone cord, doing a thing. Okay, so let's poof up here a little bit more. And here I want to be a slightly different shape. Make it look like there's like this, I don't know, little curve here. I want to make it look more like it's coming towards us now. I'm not sure how to describe that. I do a similar thing with the curve on the long strand on the strand from hell, where I take the way it's curving around and try to make it come a little bit more toward the viewer. And I think I pulled off that effect pretty well. At the very least, it looks the way I want it to. So I'd like to do something similar here. Okay, this seems alright. Yeah, I think that should look alright when I clean it up. And yes, it is a very slow head turn while I make sure that everything is looking right. Anyway, hello there, Vivi. How are you doing today? Okay, yeah, I think this should work out once I clean it up a little bit more. Let me align some of the textures here that got pushed around a little bit. Those are all the little things that I want to get in place before I start cleaning things up. Well, yes. I'm glad that I can at least be here at a consistent time. And hopefully it's the kind of thing that, you know, just something simple on screen, nice soothing music. Hopefully it's the kind of thing that can help you sleep too. Okay, I'm actually gonna hide a bit of hair for a second here. Because there's some parts where I'm not sure if what I'm seeing is because I need to fix some stuff up there or not. Oh good, that is the case. The problem is up there, not down here. That means I can kinda start cleaning up the edges a little bit here. And I'll put that hair back later. But I think I mostly got the effect that I was going for, so I'm happy. Let's see here. I don't want to get too deep into cleaning without checking to make sure all these various little color changes and stuff are all where I want them. But I want to at least start getting the basics down here. Oh, looks a little bit wavy there. Gonna be doing a lot of slow head turns today while I figure out a lot of these small things. Okay, I actually do think I need something coming out here a little bit more. I was trying to make this particular spot look a little bit less round to make it look like the angle was changing a little bit, but it just looks a little bit weird and makes the highlights kind of crunch together a little bit, so I think I gotta pull it out just a little there. Yeah, that's definitely better. Alright, but I think I have a lot of the other stuff in a good spot. So now, yep, just gonna go through and make it pretty. I can just focus hard on getting those edges nice and smooth, and all should be well, in theory. Alright, then I just need to check it for optimal levels of floof. Very important to have optimal levels of floofiness in your hair. Did a lot of that with when I was revisiting the right turns. But now it is time to do that here too. Am I satisfied with the level of floof here? I think I am, actually. Her hair is just very naturally floofy on this side, and it's much easier to rig than a bunch of the stuff on the right side. Okay, cool. Let's see. Before I turn more hair back on, how do I feel about these lower parts. Are they still good? I think I might actually push this clump a little bit further this way. And this strand kinda with it. Might need to hide some layers again to make sure I have all of this in the right place, but... Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, before I go into big details there, I kind of want to get this part looking good too. So let's see, what do I need to do here? To make it look like it is going a little bit further behind the back of her head. Now when I look at it here, I see it comes up and then down and kind of joins with this hair kind of in the shadow spot. So I think I should keep a similar feeling. I say as I look at something else entirely. That's fine. Okay, so yes, want to keep a similar feeling. So that means that this should kind of come out just a little bit more here. And then since a lot of this should be disappearing behind the side of her head here, going into the background. I just want to make it so we see less of this kind of lighter pink area. Yeah, something like that. Just gotta make it a little bit neater. And then I think I'm probably going to make her shake her head back and forth a whole bunch, just to make sure it goes all the way across nice and smoothly. And that there's no obvious problems. Honestly, I've never been quite sure what to do with this little pointy bit at the top. It's kind of weird. Very gravity-defying, very anime. Because it's so anime, I should probably stop worrying about it so much. But at the same time, I need to figure out how to make it move so I can make it look good. Because I fear that we may have some suboptimal floof here, and that's just very disappointing. Gotta optimize that floof. I'm just never quite sure how to move it. Is this okay? I mean, probably. But, can I make it better? Is this how I actually want it to be? Yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I think it should be fine. I think I just want the very edge of it kinda down here to be rounder. That might be the cause of some of my concerns here. I don't always know how to read it. In situations like those, all I can really do is try things. try to gather some more information, see if I can find something that works really well. But when I just try to think about how that turns, it's a little bit hard. Actually, her skin. She turns in her skin and her hair is similar enough that it might be enough. Oh no, her hair is considerably less pointy in her skin. That actually makes sense then. Okay. For now, I will just kind of estimate and see, because I don't think it looks bad. I'm just being a perfectionist and wanting to get everything as good as humanly possible. Or at least as good as possible for my current skill level in rigging. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think if I just make the edge a little bit rounder. Actually, before I do that, also want to know, is this the point? The very, very top of that little mountain of hair. Okay. Idea. Might look better if I push it a little bit more to the left. I just find myself mildly unsatisfied with the way things are right now, so I just want to see if I can do something a little bit better than what I currently have. Yeah, I actually do think that's a little bit better. Oop. Missed my button. Clicked somewhere else instead. Alright, time to floof this out. Let's go. The quest for optimal levels of floofiness in the hair here. Not too much, not too little. Exactly as it needs to be. Okay. Yeah, I think once I get some of the textures in the middle here pointing more in the right direction, I think this is actually going to look pretty good. So let's turn all these a little bit further this way. These ones I want to hide a little bit more so we see a little bit less of that pink. Okay, yeah. I think I'm onto something here. I tried enough things, and now I am finding something that actually looks pretty good. Just took enough tries and enough trial and error to really understand the structure going on in the hair here. And I guess I need to show a little bit more of that pink in order to get the effect that I want here. I am on a path to somewhere indeed. Somewhere very exciting. Yeah, I think this will look pretty good once I actually clean it up. I just want to make sure that everything's in place first, so that this way I don't start cleaning things up and realize that I need to change something and then have to go change it all and clean it up again. I am learning from my past mistakes. Still feels a bit slidey, though. Okay. Oh, I have a random vertex selected. I do that more than I like to admit. Or I just highlight a random vertex and then the program is very helpful, and that when you highlight vertices, it'll only move those vertices for you. And so sometimes when I highlight a random one, and nothing moves. Because it's like, oh, you only want to move this one vertex. Okay. We will not let any of the others move at all. It's what you wanted, right? Computer laughing at my silly organic brain. Honestly, it feels good to actually be tackling this part properly, because the past couple of times that I've worked on it, I just wasn't sure what to do with that particular clump of hair, so I just kind of did something and called it good. Now I'm actually taking the time to really make it nice, and I think it's showing, and it makes me happy. Some of these things, it's even if nobody notices, it makes me happy. Yes. There's a few like that, I think. Honestly, I just like the way the artist for this game draws hair in general. At some point I might study how he does hair, but I'm not sure if I actually have the patience to draw hair quite like this. Because there's just lots of little bits and bobs, and I get the feeling that... I don't know, when I look at it, I just get the feeling that the artist just goes into a bit of a trance, and just is like, oh, we're gonna make this part shiny, and this part shiny, and then we're gonna do things, and it's gonna be great. And it's not necessarily consciously aware of what they're doing the entire time. I get like that when I draw certain things, too. And... it makes it a lot easier to draw, because you're just going. And it feels good. So I just feel kind of some of that same kind of effect. So I'm not sure if I can replicate that, because I never feel that way when I'm drawing hair. I get it mostly in clothes. And certain patterns. Alright, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Much more turny. I have to decide if I want to do a little bit more with it on this side, too. Okay, one thing at a time, though. Right now, I'm doing left. Yes, left. I will worry about the right side again later, after I go around in another circle. Okay, so now I think I can officially go in and clean it up. And right now I'm just looking at the very top because there's a slight shenanigan there that I need to work out. At the very least I can recognize that there is one, but I'm not entirely sure what's causing it. Which always makes it hard to fix. Okay, I think I have some idea now. Okay, yeah, seems pretty good. Alright, going in. Just gonna smooth all this out, and then I can do some random details that only show up in between the keyframes. Because there are some parts a little bit further down that get covered up by the side bangs, and that's fine. It's exactly as it should be. But I see some things that look kind of weird while everything is moving between those two keyframes, while it is not covered up by the side bang. So I just kind of have to move some stuff around that we don't even see in this view. But that's alright. It'll still make everything look better. So this is where I have to care about all those tiny details. But I think I got it. I think it's all okay. Maybe... No, there's a little shift right through here. I think I'm actually gonna consult the mesh on this one, because I feel like it's from some vertices getting compressed or stretched out. Yep. Compression. Just gotta slide some of these guys down here. Alright, seems alright to me, so I think that's pretty good for now. We'll see if I want to change anything tomorrow, since future me is always a little bit more picky than present me. Alright, let's go ahead and hide some of this now. And I can pay attention to some of these parts underneath that I just feel like are moving a little bit strangely. I think I want to bring some of this dark spot. There's like a dark spot on the hair right over here. I want to bring some of that in. Because before it was just completely hiding, and I thought it was looking a little bit weird before it got covered up by the side bang there. So I'm just gonna straighten some things out here. Not gonna do too much work, just enough to make sure that everything is looking nice when it's not covered up. And we don't talk about the ear. The ear is not real. I think I want to de-wrinkle that bit of hair a little bit, but other than that, I think it's okay. Yeah. This seems fine. I just don't want it to be quite that wrinkly. I don't really know why, but it bothers me. So I guess that's good enough reason. I just want to straighten it out a little bit. Make it look okay. It may or may not help me when it comes time for physics, but it'll make me feel good about myself now. Okay, that should be plenty. So let's see if that solved all the problems that I was having. Yep, that's already much better. Most excellent. Okay, there's a little bit on that strand that I was just touching. The very edge of it. Let's see, there's a little bit that curves inward, and I have it curving outward in this angle. I don't like the way that looks. So, let's also curve it inward just a tiny bit there. I don't think that got it. Yep, I did not quite get it. There's just a little spot right around here. Curves slightly differently than how I currently have it. And I think it'll be better if I get it to look a little bit closer to how it does in the original. Okay, that should be fine. Okay. Do we have hair? Yeah, I think that all looks quite a bit better, actually. Let's see, do I feel like doing more today? Yeah, I think so. Let's go and start applying some of this to the lower left turn as well. Although, no, actually, we need to let her shake her head back and forth a little bit, just to make sure I kind of have everything doing what I want it to do. Yep, think it's moving back and forth fine. Might need to adjust some things in her eyebrow over here. But I told myself that I'm gonna do more with hair first before I start fixing random stuff on her eyes again. Okay, well, we'll worry about that later. Let's go poke some stuff down here. So what I think I'm gonna do is, rather than try to get it right, I'm just going to unset this. See, hair behind, lower right. Hair behind, lower right. Perfect. And hair behind, upper right. Hair behind, middle, upper. Perfect. Okay. So making things a little bit wrinkly right now, but that'll be fixed. Huh, I'm surprised that it got pushed in so hard. I imagine it must be due to a mesh group influence. That's alright. Although in that case, maybe it's actually easier just to do it like this. Yep, okay. I was hoping that unsetting it would give me something a little bit closer to how it actually looks up here. Because I figured that the interpolation would grab from here and just pull it down for me, but not so much, it looks like. Okay. That's alright. I'll just have to do it all myself. Back to searching for the optimal levels of floof once more. So I'm just going to do a lot of the same things that I did before. This time it's going to be a little bit different on the top especially, because now her head is going to be tilting downward. So we should see a little bit more of just the very, very top here. So what I think I want to do is actually pull this down kind of like that. And make everything over here just a little bit thicker. Give the appearance that we're seeing a little bit more of the top there. Yeah, looks weird right now, but it'll get there. The left also looked weird until I fixed it. So it'll get there, I believe. I totally believe I got this. Alright, seems pretty cool. Let's go do some basic stuff. Gotta push all this in. More stuff that needs to hide under the rug. I think I actually changed my mind about this little spot by your cheek. Gonna push that over just a little bit too. And then I'm pretty sure this little pixel peeking out over there is just from the back of her hair, which should not be peeking out there, so let's go hide that too. And alright, that's a bunch of the easy stuff down there. Yep. Okay. Before I go back in and try to find the perfect shape for certain things, let's get the very basics of this shape good. It's supposed to come out like that. I'll worry about the rest in a little bit. But that should let me see the general shape of her head here. And with that, it should be a little bit easier to make out where other things should go. In theory, at least. Ah, yes, and I forgot that at the very beginning, I had taken this little underneath area and this little area and pushed them just a little bit to the left. And I actually like the way that looked. And that was definitely contributing to some of the squirming there, since I hadn't done it over here yet. Yep, seems a little bit better. Just gotta fix some stuff over there still. Alrighty. Let's start fixing some of this up. Might not completely finish it today. I am starting to get pretty hungry. But I can at least get it started. And soon she'll just be able to nod all day. My goodness. Everything always looks so funny before I fix it. It's like, what? Watch up here. Up in the top there, just goes. It looks incredibly silly. Okay. It's okay, I know how to fix it. And now I guess it's just time to try things out and figure out how I want everything to be in the end. So this is where I do big picture stuff. I am not too concerned about it being clean, just roughly in the place that I want it to be. Right now, I am more concerned with accuracy. The broad strokes of accuracy, not necessarily pretty just yet. Although honestly, compared to drawing, everything here looks so much nicer just all the time. Because man, in the early stages of drawing a new picture, everything just looks so bad. And it can make it hard to work on at the beginning. But here, at least with rigging, nah, everything looks great right from the beginning. When things aren't moving right, it just looks funny. It's not the, oh man, that is like the most mutant face I have ever seen kind of feeling that you get when you're starting a new picture. It's like, nah. Looks pretty good right from the beginning, because at least the art is pretty. Yeah, so I think for today, I'm just going to roughly put things in, and tomorrow I will clean it up. But I do want to finish just kind of roughing things in here. And then we'll let the me of tomorrow take a look and make sure everything is still looking good. And then I'll clean it up. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I just kind of gotta figure out a little bit about those pink parts in the middle. At least the broad strokes for now. Part of me's looking at this like, you know, probably wouldn't take that much more just to make it all look nice and clean it up. But then my stomach started growling at me when I did that, and I'm just like, oh no, I'm being threatened by my digestive tract. So yes, I probably will save that for tomorrow. Alright, I think that's the broad strokes. I'll probably have some more details to look at tomorrow, but that is good to start for now. I feel like the transformation here isn't quite as dramatic as when I fixed the right turns, but I do like the changes. Just a little bit more three-dimensional. I think it's cool. Yes. Yes. But I think this is where I will stop for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.